Ratan Tata had said, I don't believe in taking right decisions. I take the decisions and then make it right. Today we are going to learn about video skills. Yes, friends. Skills. What do you mean by skills? A skill, it is a goal directed and intentional. It has to be learned and it is improved by practice. Whatever, even if it is inherited genetically, you need to improve it by taking efforts and try to achieve things. That is what is called as a skill. And there are different learning styles. So let us know what are these learning styles. There is a VARK model, VARK. So what does this mean? V is for visual, A is for auditory, R is for reading and writing, K is for kinesthetic. So this type of model was developed by a teacher from New Zealand. And this is used worldwide to know about the students' learning capacities and to develop their teaching methods. So visually dominant person or a learner, he absorbs and retains the information better. And when it is presented, suppose in a form of pictures, videos, diagrams, and charts. Now, second type of person is the auditory. The auditory learner, this type of learner, this kind of auditory dominant learner, he prefers to listening. Now you see that many people, they try to listen stories and podcasts through Kindle version of books they hear. So these kind of people are the auditory learners. These people, they respond best to voices and they can learn best by voices. For example, a lecture, which is recorded audio lectures, group discussions that are through audio, and hearing his or her own voice when he repeats back to the teacher or tutor while teaching. So these kinds of people are the auditory dominant learners. And third type are the reading and writing type of learners. So this kind of reading and writing dominant learners, these people, they read, they make notes, and then they try to learn the things. They also make mind maps so that they can break the complex things into small chunks and that can be understandable easily. So these are the reading, writing kind of people. Now fourth variety are the kinesthetic. The kinesthetic people, these are more dominant learners where they understand by physical learning. So whatever they do it like do it yourself persons. They are practical and they better understand it by hands-on approach. So these kind of people are more dominantly learners by experience. They will experience it themselves, they will feel it, they will touch it, they will do it, and then they will understand those things. And these are that kind of dominant learners, kinesthetic learners. Then understanding the learning preferences. Now when you are going to teach them, or when you are going to make the people understand through your presentations, through your video skills, you need to know what kind of audience is present in front of you. So understanding the learning preferences is very important there. So if you're unsure of your learning styles, you have to understand the scenarios. Being a teacher yourself or being a coach yourself, you also have to know your own skills to develop the teaching methods. And at the same time, you also need to know your students or your audience learning styles as well, so that you can make a better presentation. Now think about how you complain. So when you complain about something, suppose at that time you have to understand your emotions. The emotions surge up and then you try to express those emotions. So when these emotions are running high, you will revert back to your original communication style. So whatever you feel at that moment and whatever you feel comfortable to communicate, that kind of that kind of communication style you will revert back to. And you have to understand now by questioning yourself that do you want to see the whites of someone's eyes, that some people try to stare at people eyes if they become angry or if their emotions are running high. So that is a visual learner. And secondly, try to harangue someone over phone and shout at them or express your feelings to them over phone. These kind of people are the auditory learners. Then third type are you bang the fist on the table. These kinds of people are the kinesthetic learners. They will express their emotions, anger, whatever, sadness or whatever through their body movements. They will try to strike over the table. So these kind of people are the kinesthetic learners. Then fourth type people, these kind are, they just fire off a curt email. These kinds of people are the reading, writing type of people. So these four type of people you can understand through this types when you try to complain. Now, when you go for uncomfortable situation, suppose you are lost in a strange city at night, and at that time, how will you find your way to back to your destination? Would you use a map? If you are using a map, then you are a visual type of learner. You'll ask someone for a directions, then that you're a type of like auditory, because you are listening to their directions. Then just you'll keep to yourself and just you work out your way to back to your destination. Then you are do it yourself person, the kinesthetic person. Now these are all about the types of learners. Now let us see what style of presentation you prefer. Think about the last presentation you attended, and was it about like what was that thing which stuck in your mind? Was it the visual aids, the charts? That means you are a visual type person. And what strike most? The words of the presenter. That means that you are an auditory type of learner, and you prefer that auditory type. And then the audience participation. When you participate in that program and then you understand it well, then it is the kinesthetic, it is the participatory type, do it yourself type. So in this way also you can understand what type of learner you are. Now there can be a mix of strengths as well. People can be reading, writing, they can be kinesthetic as well. They can be visual and auditory mix. So there are mixed type of strengths, and the teacher or the coach should understand that there are different kinds of people, and then have to plan the presentation accordingly. Now about how we can understand these things, like how the learners respond. You can find out what type they are. Visual learners will use the phrase like, what's your view? And I see what you mean. Oh, I get the picture. These are the typical phrases the visual learners will usually use. Auditory learners, they will use the phrase like, that rings the bell. I hear what you're saying. Oh, I hear what you're saying. That sounds okay. This kinds of phrase the auditory learners will respond. And kinesthetic learners, they will say, that feels right. How does it grab you? Let me try. Now these are the kinesthetic type of learners. Now visual or reading and writing type of learners, what they use? They use the mind maps. They will they will make small mind maps so that they can understand it. And they will just break the complex things which are taught by the teacher into small chunks so that it can be easily understandable and manageable. So these are the different kinds of learners, and how to make the presentation yourself by understanding these types of learners. Now about myself, how I approach the video skills. Now I remember a incident. This incident, a student of mine who was using the latest technology things to learn, and he himself was a teacher at an academy, and he was you're teaching some 10th standard students and the NEET students. Now, this student was asking me to use his digital writing pad. Okay, and I was using, at that time I was using the whiteboard, and I was more comfortable using the whiteboard or showing the PowerPoint presentations to the students for teaching purpose. Now, using the writing pad, the digital iPad was a new thing for me, and I was not comfortable to use that. And coordinate at the same time, I was coordinating with the video on screen and writing at the same time on the iPad, and it was uncomfortable, and I said I will not use this. So simultaneously I went back to the whiteboard for teaching purpose and the PowerPoint presentations, of course. Then I thought, why can't I learn this? I have to learn this because I have to be updated, because my students themselves are at such a level that that they are approaching me for these kind of things. So I think I thought that I should learn this. And then I joined a course that is by the IIDE, and I thought nothing is impossible. Where there is a will, there is a way. So I started exploring, and I learned the 10 teaching digital tools, online teaching and e-content, which was developed by IIDE and was sponsored by HSNC University. And I am still practicing. I'm exploring many things. I'm exploring other video editing tools also. And of course, practice makes one perfect. I'm still practicing. I'm learning these skills. So that is about learning the video skills. That is my approach towards learning the video skills. Thank you, and signing off for today.